This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
That was fun. That was a fun evening of Major League Baseball. Mariners win 12-3 over the Detroit Tigers. Welcome to the Locked On Mariners postcast. My name is Christopher Crawford, normally joined by Anderson Hurst. Anders was playing in a very important golf tournament, and shout out to Ian Furness for the work that he does with Helinski's Hope and with a few other charities, but that is a more important thing. But I am thrilled to be here to recap this Seattle Mariner game. We go live after every single Seattle Mariner game. Ty and Colby take care of the day-to-day operations. Anders and I are here to break down every game. And oh, there's so much to talk about. And just, we're taking a look at our sheet over here. Big dumper with numbers 37 and number 38. Julio Rodriguez finally getting another homer. Luis Castillo so, but I think maybe better than the stat line, and I'll offer an unsung hero. Let's start actually with Luis Castillo. Let's start with the start because that's normally what we do. You take a look at the line, and it's not great. 5 innings of 3-run baseball, and, he needs 100 pitches. The Detroit Tigers make him work. I thought the stuff was actually pretty darn good today. He ends up getting 6 strikeouts, 6 hits, 3 runs allowed. And a bunch of you are bringing it up in the comments, and I really appreciate that you guys did because I might have forgotten about it because I was so excited about what was going on there at the end of the game. The Mariners got gypped in a big situation. It's a 1-0 game, and pretty clearly, Luis Castillo comes up with a strikeout. The home plate umpire gives this signal, and for those of you who are listening on the podcast, I'm giving the strikeout fist. And for some reason, it's overturned. It's called a foul ball. And the very next play, a run scores. And Castillo looked pretty frustrated. Now, that doesn't excuse the struggles in the 6th that much, but I thought he was okay. I thought he was fine. It certainly wasn't him at his best, but I'll take that. As Dylan points out right here, if you consider the fact that Castillo's had some previous road outings that have not been so good, and when you consider the opponent, the Detroit Tigers are the best team in the American League by record, by run differential, by a whole bunch of stuff. The Detroit Tigers are the best team in the American League. So 5 innings of 3-run baseball, and it probably should have been 5 innings of 2-run baseball. It's not so bad. A gritty start against a good team, as Jolly Badger puts right here. I think that's a really good one. By the way, we had a perfect comment here from Dakebug. I wanted to start with this. They said Julio was washed. They said they couldn't get it done against Detroit and Skubal. Bros proved the haters wrong. Not saying some of it isn't warranted, but good bounce back. Great bounce back. Great comment, too. And we really do appreciate it. Let me know who your unsung hero for this game is. Who do you think deserves that moniker, so to speak? But a nice job by Luis Castillo. I'll save the bullpen for the end because that's going to be my unsung hero. There's somebody who I think really deserves it. But getting 5 innings of 3-run baseball from Castillo is not bad. In fact, I would say if you asked me to sign up for it, I'd take it. I would take it. And that's not an insult to Castillo. It's much more a compliment to Detroit. It's much more a compliment to what the Tigers are. That is a really good baseball team. Yeah, I'm not beating up on him at all. Not at all. There was, some command issues, but he generated a good amount of swing and miss. He made some clutch pitches to get out of a couple of jams. And, a couple of runs score after he leaves the game, or at least 1 run scores after he leaves the game. I thought Luis Castillo was fine. The offense was a lot better than fine. Should we take a quick commercial break before we talk about the offense? Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a quick commercial break. Then we'll talk about the offense, the effort against what is pretty easily the best pitcher in baseball right now, and a certain catcher who didn't catch today, but is pretty good. But first, we have to say thank you to the good people of Supply House. Supply House is the best. Did you know that with Supply House that you can get plumbing, HVAC, electrical work, and it's a reliable way to order products online? They have an easy-to-use website that is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need. It's delivered fast from coast to coast. Those of us who are watching in Washington know how valuable it is when things can get coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading services, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. If you join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM, you can start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off of your order. That certainly adds up. We know how valuable that can be. That's at supplyhouse.com. And now a word from Gametime. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to the game with your friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a big group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. They make tickets buying fast and simple. The prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they have incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. You know what's the best part about it is that last minute deal. Like, let's say you're waiting to see if a big dumper is going to be in the lineup. What if you're waiting to see if, Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch, if they decide that he's going to be the starter that day, because he's been doing what he's been doing. Maybe you want to go to that game. That's what's awesome about Gametime is you can wait till the very last minute and you'll actually save money doing it. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. You download the Gametime app, you create an account, and you use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKED on COLLEGE for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. It's last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. All right, let's talk about that offense. Okay. This was an interesting one because let's start with the first run they score. First inning, not so good. Not so good. JP Crawford gets plunked. Julio hits into a near double play. Big dumper, I believe, strikes out. Either way, it's a 1-2-3 inning. Second inning, Rosarina gets out. Garver gets out. Jorge Polanco lines a single. And then Parker Meadows makes one of the silliest decisions on a diving play that I have ever seen. And for those who missed it, he dives straight into the ground, trying to make a catch on a Donovan Solano liner that turns into a triple and a run scored. And honestly, if anybody there but Donnie Barrels is running, I think it might have been an inside the park home run. You guys tell me, did you think Donovan Solano was going to get all four? I sure did. But he didn't exactly hustle out of the gate, and he's not very fast. Not very fast is an understatement. But, oh, my gosh, it was a terrible play from Meadows, who is a good baseball player. You just can't dive there. You cannot dive there. And it costs the Detroit Tigers a run, and it's big. It's big because, you're thinking, boy, you're not going to score many off of Skubal. So then the Tigers do even it up. They make it 1-1. And then the fifth inning, which is one of my favorite innings they've had in a while. And we'll talk about the ninth as well. But in the fifth inning, you get an RBI single from JP Crawford, who had a really good game today. He reaches 3 times. It makes it 2-1. And by the way, before that, you get a Ben Williamson hit. And then, the Ben Williams, it doesn't matter. Whoever scored was good. I'm glad they scored. It's hard to remember 12 runs, folks. But then Julio Rodriguez. And there's been a lot of talk about Julio Rodriguez. There's been a lot of talk about how Julio Rodriguez isn't going to the All-Star game, blah, blah, blah. it was wonderful to get a reminder how this guy, upper echelon talent, doesn't even begin to describe it. Even describe it. And sure, it was a bad changeup from Skubal. Left it right over the heart of the plate. But the fact he waited on that pitch and destroyed it. And that's the first home run anyone's hit off that changeup. I believe they said that on the Apple broadcast today. I'm so used to Apple Podcast. Plus, I'm just not very good at this. But that was massive. So big. So big. And, Dinkbite, Julio has superstar talent. He will get there. I agree. But I will also say this. He's been there too. Maybe this is the type of player he is where it's going to be streaky, but the overall experience is going to be a positive one. And I still think he has the talent that he can be. And that's kind of what you're saying, I'm sure. I'm not meaning to disrespect whatever you're saying, but like he has the talent to be that guy, who is among, if not the very best players in baseball, right? The talent here is undeniable. And it was so cool to see him get a homer off of a pitcher like that to make it 4-1. And it was big because it's easy to forget when the score is close or not close at the end. But like, we needed all those runs especially at that time, because Detroit comes back and scores 2 off of Castillo to make it a 4-3 game. And it's 4-3 for a while. And then somebody brought this up too. Big Dumper did not have a good game against Skubal. And that's not an insult to Big Dumper, by the way. It's just Tarik Skubal is a different dude. The fact they got 4 off him today is incredible. Probably should have been 3, but they got 4. Okay? But then on a changeup that most people are just grounding meekly to second base at best. And if you do try to pull that baseball, it's just going right into the third baseman's glove on a little fly out, right? And as my agent Michael Scarn points out, how did Cal hit that first home run? It was down and away, and he pulled it. And not just down and away, it was way off the plate. It's the type of pitch we criticize Julio Rodriguez for swinging at. But he is so strong that it doesn't matter. The fact he barrels that baseball, oh my God. That's just special stuff, folks. That's special stuff. And yep, the power of them cheeks, as Smacky the Frog points out. Them cakes are strong, and boy, oh boy. And yeah, he's a great bad ball hitter, as a few of you have pointed out. There's no denying that. He's just a great hitter, period. But then the 9th inning, right? The 5-3 game. You're kind of wondering, you know what? I love this comment too. I like who Julio backed out and his teammate was named. That was really cool. And I hope it garners some real clubhouse chemistry. I think he's backing out more to do with health stuff than anything else. I don't have exact proof of this, but I think Julio is more banged up than people want to admit. And so I am glad that Randy's replacing him. I'm glad that technically gives the Mariners 5 All-Stars. And I'm also glad that Julio's going to get a chance to rest, because boy, does he deserve it. Even if the offense hasn't been what we wanted to, it's time for Julio to take a break. And he's deserving of it. And it's great to see that he'll at least end this weekend with some offensive success. Okay, so the 9th inning, right? You're up 5-3. You probably don't have Andres Muniz available. In fact, I know you don't, right? Like, because through 31 pitches the night before, there's no way you're throwing him on back-to-back nights like that. You get a Ben Williamson single to score a run to make it 6-3. With the bases still loaded and nobody out, J.P. Crawford hits into what I thought was going to be a double play, but Gleyber Torres olays it, and you score a couple of runs. You get bases loaded and nobody out. And I'll take you behind the scenes here, okay? My grandma couldn't watch this game. She can't watch the Apple games. She can't. She just doesn't have that ability to log into something like that. And thank you. Chris Crawford is my MVP as well. And I'm just going to leave that up for now because it makes me feel good. I call my grandma and I say, Grandma, it's 8-3. The bases are loaded, but I'm going to tell you what happens in this at-bat with Cal Raleigh. And he fouls off the first pitch. I think he fouls off another pitch that I thought was very hittable. It goes to 2-2. And when he hits that grand slam, I just start screaming. And I don't mean this as an insult. There we go. My voice leaped prepubescent levels. I was up here. Watching what Big Dumper is doing right now, watching him he's one away from Barry Bonds. He's one homer away from Barry Bonds in the first half. The greatest player to ever wear a uniform. I don't care about the drug stuff. I'm sorry if you have an issue with it, whatever. He's one away from Barry Bonds. He's got a chance to break the record with 2 homers over 2 games. This is special. This is so special. And yeah, the fan who threw it back definitely didn't know what was going on. This was awesome. And it's been so awesome to watch. A frustrating first half for sure, but Big Dumper has made this first half ever so watchable. And then some. Real quick, my unsung hero today, he's been the unsung hero a lot, but it's Eduardo Pizarro. This was still a close game when he came in, giving you 2 innings and getting a couple of big strikeouts. Scoreless baseball was massive. Massive. And then Gabe Spire got away with some stuff. I saw some people joking on Twitter that apparently the Marine Lair traveled to Detroit for a second there. Oh, but he gets the job done. And then Burgos frustrates the heck out of me by putting a couple on via free pass. And then gets the job done. I've been impressed with Burgos, but please throw strikes when you're up 12-3. I think to answer this question right here, Bizardo, our best reliever after Brash and Mooney? Yep, I think so. Spire might be in that conversation too. But the way Bizardo's pitched, I know he doesn't miss a ton of bats. I know he doesn't get a lot of chase. He's so hard to square up. He's the guy that I'm trusting the most against a lineup with both right and left-handers. JP Crawford's at-bats were great, as people point out. He love you, Chris, but love Cal more. Brian, you're dead to me, bud. I'm just kidding. I love Brian, but I get it. I love me more because I have to, but I totally get it. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Anders and I will be back tomorrow. I believe is a 10 o'clock game, so it's a little bit of an early one, but oh, it was so great to see. So great to see. Antonio G. Money asks, I didn't watch the game. What did I miss? A whole heck of a lot. But dang, that was fun. Dang, that was fun. And it was fun to talk about it with you guys. I couldn't wait for this game to end to go live. Anders and I again back tomorrow. Big Dumper, man. Big Dumper, Julio, everything, but Big Dumper.